All right. So it is a rainy Saturday afternoon. The fam is sleeping. So I'm going to sit here and do just a little bit of this. I have so many thoughts buzzing around in my head that I would like to get out. And I'm excited about the future. I've always been into futurist stuff. And I don't want to sound like a douche. I don't want to sound like, there's the meme of, hold on, I'll find it. Like, I don't want to be this guy. You know what I mean? I get it. Do I feel like I have anything valid to add to the conversation? Not more so than anything that other science communicators and other AI communicators are doing. So that's why I'm struggling to figure out what to add. And I think what I can add is a perspective of somebody who's really looking at the advancements of the next 5 to 10 years as manifesting in healthcare. And by that, I mean, there's a lot of people in my family who would benefit from advanced technology. And it doesn't take much thinking outside the box to connect the dots of what's being developed into something that could really, really help many people that are the closest to me. So in this series, I would love to focus on mobility tech. I would love to focus on blindness and low light tech. And there are people who are focused on making lives better in the middle of all of the power seeking and all that. So I'm going to share with you 3 links that I'm going to put in the description of this video. And they're links to things that you might read if you want to see a zoomed out view of where I think we're going in the next 5 to 10 years. And so the first one is Sam Altman's blog, Intelligence, The Intelligence Age. That's not the name of his blog, it's the name of this entry. Anyway, I'll have this down in the description, but real quick, there's a TLDR here. And 3 words, deep learning worked. And yes, that's the thing that you need to come away with. I'm not going to read this all to you because you can read by yourselves. The next one is Machines of Loving Race. This one is written by the CEO of Anthropic. If you don't know, Anthropic is the maker of Claude, which is it tops all the leaderboards for all sorts of benchmarks. It's a very capable LLM, similar to ChatGPT. And the CEO has written out this really in-depth, comprehensive thing. It's wonderful, and read it. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm just not going to bore you with something that you can go find out on your own. I'm just telling you where to look. And finally, this one is challenging, and I've told several people in my life this. These 3 links that I'm sharing, because I'm as progressive as they come. And in the next one, the Techno Optimist Manifesto by Mark Andreessen is a really intriguing, possibly inflammatory view. It starts out, lies. We are being lied to. Oh, well, please tell us the truth, Mr. Billionaire. I get that. So take it with a grain of salt, but gosh, there are some things that in here that have stood out to me as sort of underlying foundational philosophies that I would agree with. So, if you want to immerse yourself in the things that I have been immersing myself in and want to potentially reason your way out of being afraid of all the stuff that's coming, I would highly recommend reading these 3 things. More so, this, not to get too meta, but this channel, I would love for it not to inhabit the exact same space as, say, Wes Roth or AI explained or AI for humans. It's not going to be that polished because I just don't have enough time to do it. The time that I have to get away and create content is going to be minimal. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do it that is there's something that I can keep going with and not just let fester, because I do think it can be valuable to something or to someone. Real quick, I just want to show you a couple of YouTube videos that have come across my feed that have been really interesting lately. I think that's mostly what this channel is going to be. Just seeing like, oh, wow. Hold on. You got my video speculator. Frontier Tech. XML extension. And you've got people that are doing it just like me. Let's see. This is pretty cool. Okay. So
it's here. Just
3 weeks ago, this was uploaded, and the project is more ongoing, but this Hope Junior open source, low cost, tendon driven robot hand with rolling joint construction. Check this out. I'm going to mute the sound. But this is the kind of future that I'm excited about in a lot of ways. Just the open source, like literally it looks like if you have a 3D printer and the right components and some fishing line. I mean, I'm sure it's more complex than that, but the fact that it's doable at all from just, somebody that doesn't have like moneyed interests funding their research, like this guy's just doing this. There's going to be a batch build apparently. I'm not part of it, but I guess on their GitHub as well. Let me see. A Robot Studio. Anyway, you can check them out. I'll put this link out there too. Okay, so I'm going to end here. This is one thing that I've been sharing with most of the people in my life that are overwhelmed with, I don't know, just the state of things. Chinese farm, terrible. Just so I can get this out of my head. Basically, check this out. I'm just going to play this. This is your moment of zen.
Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer who lost a horse, ran away. And all the neighbors came round that evening and said, "That's too bad." And he said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back and brought 7 wild horses with it. And all the neighbors came around and said, "Why, that's great, isn't it?" And he said, "Maybe." The next day, his son was attempting to tame one of these horses and was riding it and was thrown and broke his leg. And all the neighbors came round in the evening and said, "Well, that's too bad, isn't it?" And the farmer said, "Maybe." And the next day, the conscription officers came around looking for people for the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. And all the neighbors came round that evening and said, "Isn't that wonderful?" And he said, "Maybe." The whole process of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity, and it is really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequences of a misfortune, or you never know what will be the consequences of good fortune.